tier list, they added the placement explanations.
Oh, did they? That sounds awesome. Oh, an official tier list. Dang, they got Slowbro up in the S tier. Also, they don't have a double S tier for Zacian? That's
Wait, where's the
criminal.
explanations then?
Wow.
Where's the explanations?
It says placement explanations, and that's a link.
Where is it?
Go to tier list. And
It's at the top.
at the top.
Oh, okay.
April edition. New E tier. You've added another tier to show distinction for middle of the pack Pokemon.
How was Gengar in E tier?
Actually, they made an E tier so that it's not just F tier at the bottom.
It's garbage
Thankfully.
for 5v5. That's what they're saying.
I know.
Which
Like,
I
there's
totally
an-
agree.
Which is wild, because I feel like Duraludon would be good for 5v5s.
Gengar's down there. And the E tier.
Duraludon's below both Greninja and Decidueye. That's wild. I thought it was better than both.
Dura has the same mobility as has less mobility than Decidueye, and doesn't have any range. There's probably a reason why.
I was think they're B tier. How is think they're B tier?
Well, look at the explanation and find out. Forehead.
Don't feel like it.
I'll read it. Dodrio and Zoroark are both able to accomplish what Scyther sets out to do in a safer or more effective manner while having stronger map presence. I agree with the Dodrio. Not sure about the Zoroark.
Zoroark is extremely strong right now. I agree with this.
Strong, yes, but I don't know if it's safer.
Bullshit.
I think, yeah, I guess.
I don't know if it's more effective either. Scyther's shredding. I don't know about that one.
I give Zoroark an edge over Scyther, but it depends on
With defenders, yes. Without defenders, I would say Scyther is better. But then again, the meta is nothing but defenders, so, you know.
I was looking at the DB battle item tier list, so for some reason they put Fluffy Tail over Slow Smoke.
Snorlax an A tier. Snorlax an A tier. Dang.
I think Fluffy Tail and Slow Smoke are in the same tier, but
No.
Garbage.
I don't think they're like garbage, but like Slow Smoke is only used on Comfey.
Well, that's because nothing else is used on them. Nothing else can be used on them.
It was Fluffy Tail before because it was bugged. You could just keep on using it.
Even then, Comfey's damage on farm, I don't know.
It's garbage on it, but at least I remember playing with someone who went Discharge Zero with Fluffy. They were just Fluffy and Objective right before it was about to die and used Discharge.
Bro.
It wasn't horrible for Secure. Because it's constant damage, not ticks.
I mean, it would be good with his ult.
Also true. So it has some merit to it. Slow Smoke has 0 merit to it.
Could probably do the same thing with X Attack.
Yeah, it.
Which is the problem with Fluffy Tail.
X Attack is higher than Fluffy Tail by a lot.
Which is the problem with Fluffy Tail in general, is why not X Attack? Then you can use it in the team fight, which matters more. Same thing with like Slow Smoke. It's like, alright, well anybody who runs eject button or X speed just ignores it. It's cool. And it's on a lower cooldown.
I'm surprised they lowered Koopa from S.
Garchomp got lowered from to B, which is wild to me. It means he was above B. Also got moved up to C. Wild.
I want to see why they did that. After finally seeing some tournament play, Crossal's been able to carve itself a small niche beyond a Dodrio with Rock Tomb. X Scissor as well.
Oh, fair. Fair. It's against Dodrio. That's a good point.
And Espeon.
I feel like it wouldn't do that much against Espeon. I'm not sure where that came from.
It gets rid of
Well,
passive immediately.
Yeah, and plus it just brings a wall. So it'd either have to eject button out of the fight, or just sit there, dick in hand, doing nothing.
Oh, that's true. Rock Tomb. I was thinking Stealth Rock, but yeah, Rock Tomb would actually be very helpful for that.
I'm surprised Urshi is not S tier.
Well, that's because they shit.
Zacian. Zacian's there.
Yeah, but like, Zacian's still banned.
That doesn't make it not exist, though.
Yeah, but this is supposedly based off of tourney play, if you want to go with Crussel's defense.
Literally, their explanation is competing for a spot against Zacian is no easy task.
Yep.
That's
I'll say.
literally the explanation. It's like, yeah, Zacian exists and every character is one tier below because of it. Because let's be honest, A tier is S tier.
Yeah, pretty much.
Trevenant's on there, for Pete's sake. Trevenant, Lapras, where is... Oh, Lapras is not technically determined yet. They forgot Scyther's reasoning initially. That's hilarious. They had to edit it. Can chat see this? No, they cannot. Here, let me... Oh no, just Discord is over it. You can't see it.
They
though.
don't get to.
Their reasoning for Lapras is not here, it's just because it's not in tournament play yet. And also, it's only been free for a week. Or, no, it's only been free for like, what, 3 days? 4 days?
Something like that.
Poor Absol all the way in D.
I think Lapras would probably be either
A.
or B tier non.
It's absolutely comparable to Blastoise.
It's definitely A, yeah. Maybe S, maybe.
I don't know if it's comparable
No,
to
it
Slowbro or Zacian.
Oh,
It's comparable to Urshifu. It's comparable to
Ult
Urshifu.
does have a very strong argument.
Yeah, that's why I want.
That's true.
That's why I think it's borderline, like very close.
I give it an
It's
S
guaranteed
minus.
tier. I think it's A tier. It's
A plus,
A
S
tier?
minus.
It'll be A tier. I don't think it's F tier.
It's not. It's close to it, but it's
I
not
think
A.
if
Close,
if
that's not
Zacian
close.
dies, then it'll be S.
I don't know.
I don't think that this Pokemon outshines, like, it does. It's not in the same
Slowbro.
tier as Bro.
That's
I
just
guess.
yeah,
I
just
like Bro
because
so
again,
much.
like Zacian, Lapras like is effective against Zacian as much as any defender is,
I mean,
but
I've
that
seen
just makes
Lapras
sense.
and Slowbro hand in hand.
Well, that's because Lapras does a stupid amount of damage. Same thing with Trevenant.
Thanks, Johnny. I was thinking of this.
Yeah.
Hey, we get to make our tier lists.
Hooray.
F Zacian. Nice.
We have the better tier list. Do you hear that, EvoCon?
Put Comfey in that tier with him. Put him right there.
Fuck
Comfey's
Showdown.
Comfey's the one that's effing Zacian. Don't quote that.
Alrighty. So where do you think like Cinder's at right now? Like I don't think Cinder's like terrible.
I feel like whatever the best ADC is would probably be in C, and I think the rest of them go in D.
Yeah, like I'd say Cinder, C and best. I think D would be like a reasonable place to put
I
Cinder.
think
Like I
D
don't.
or E good Cinder would go too. I think
I-
D would be
yeah.
I think either Decidueye or Duraludon would go in C, and I think the rest of them go in D.
I think
Yeah,
Gwen
Garchomp-
could be argued for B if necessary.
Yeah. Garchomp's unironically like very nice right now. Like with how
Yeah.
it's catching
B or
power.
A tier.
Yeah, B or A.
I think B because Zacian makes it impossible to live.
Well, why do you think we have this tier?
We're gonna pretend like he doesn't exist, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Those two do not exist.
Like, never mind then. I guess if we're crafting a meta where Zacian doesn't exist, I would probably say Garchomp is roughly A-ish.
Yeah, like A or B is somewhere nice. I think B just because I'm gonna only put it in B because like the problem is with how the mages are. Like I think they just kind of shut down Garchomp too fast before.
And it's kind of a dual-edged sword. If Garchomp hits them first, they die. If they hit him first, he dies.
Yeah, that's why like B just kind of it's here
Assassins do
where
it better though. That's the point.
They do it better, but the staying power with Garchomp ult is something to notice.
yeah.
Without
no,
something
I
like
think-
Dodrio, it's Garchomp
wanna
does
go
stay
back?
there longer.
Or feeling of Mon being strong, or based off of team play.
The team play it feels like team
Seems
play.
like probably D.
I'm basing it mostly off solo queue because I am just a solo queue kind of person.
Well, then it would be A then.
Yeah. I think like the main difference is like as much as I hate Gengar, like I don't think Gengar's like too bad because like
I think
it's not,
5
like,
stacks and defenders destroy him, and everything else
yeah,
does not.
exactly.
I think
Like,
tank.
Yeah, try
It's
try to play
Chari.
Gengar against someone getting pocketed by a Slowbro.
Hey
I'd
Chari.
say Gengar, maybe C, like he's not terrible. Like he can still do things like definitely against the squishies, but like it's not great.
It should be.
I would argue Garchomp is higher. I'd argue Garchomp is A.
They would,
Yeah.
but like the problem is like with how it's like Archie said earlier, it's a double-edged sword. Like with how the mages are right now in the meta, like it's just kind of hard for Garchomp to do anything.
The thing is, if he gets in, he gets in. He has the mobility. He doesn't have the mobility in, but when he gets in, they can't really do much against him. DC and those Dragon Claw.
I think solo
Dragon
queue
Rush
is
and
A.
then ult
I
in.
think team.
In
Yeah, I
solo
think
queue, yeah.
teams he's B.
In team, in 5 stacks, Garchomp is really good. In solo queue, it's you're never gonna get it, or then you have to be amazing at precisioning.
Oh, yeah, Blastoise is really bugged as well right now.
Wait,
I mean,
did you see what they posted for this year's?
The problem is I'm not gonna put Blastoise in there just simply because Cram is
Cram's known for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cram's
we
known
lost
for-
Chari.
That's the reason why I did that. Because Cram's too known for being bugged, like every patch he's been in.
We lost
I dare you to
Chari.
find
Sad times.
I dare you to find a patch where Cram wasn't bugged.
True.
Alrighty. Next up, ooh, yep.
Tier again. Garbage in solo queue, garbage in team play.
Sad times.
Wiggly's interesting. Like I don't think like
It gets
he-
at least a bump from D tier based off passive alone.
Yeah, isn't he just walking Dodrio counter?
Kinda.
like
Walking Dojo
Like,
counter, walking
like
Dragon Dance counter.
like
I don't
the
think
it's
it's
like
like Garchomp though.
No.
C tier by far.
We should add like a separate tier. It just says niche.
Niche.
We'll make it too thin if we do that.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, the champ.
That's tough.
Like the champ can be great in some plays, but like
I play through
Yeah.
D tier.
I think the ult puts it in B. I think most of its kit would probably leave it in C-ish.
It's ultra.
absolutely underrated as hell. I feel like this character doesn't.
I think probably C, just because until the defenders die, he can't really do what he needs to do. But like once there's not so many defenders that outdamage him,
I haven't seen Absol in team play in a while.
it's because defenders outdamage him.
Besides mine, because
Why take Absol when you could live forever?
Don't need to talk about Slowbro, he's S tier.
No.
Yeah,
Mr. Mime I think is B tier.
it
Maybe.
makes sense.
Probably.
Just, you
It's
know,
also
it's just great sustain with mime and how he's able to with
11
amount of
stuns.
the amount of damage he also has. Like he also outputs night damage, but like it's definitely not like too broken. I feel like.
What were
On
you
a
saying,
good
Thunder?
player, it's really good. On a bad player, it will do nothing with your team.
What were you saying, Thunder?
it's also not that bad of a stopping Dodrio.
The walls
Yeah.
probably are pretty effective at that.
Vino
And
is interesting because
Jump
like, Vino
kick walls. It still has boosted attack to
Boosted,
jump
and it also stops ult,
the
which
thing with
is
Vino
one
is-
of extremely useful.
if you know how to deal with the Vino, like it's not too bad, but like a really good Vino is hard. If it's getting pocketed like by something, it's really hard to deal with. And that's
Like a
kind of
Venusaur Blissey just will not die ever.
you
I
know,
believe it's B tier though. I don't think it's.
I would call it
yeah,
B.
like, yeah, B, because like the problem is like if it's not being pocketed by something, it's usually easy to counter. But like if you mess up one thing, it's gonna kill you.
Yeah, but also you have to remember if it just runs in with ult, you're taking 3k before it even hits you, which is not great.
Luca is also B, I think.
Yeah, like Luca's not bad, but
Maybe
like
argued for A.
I
if
think
really
I
good
think a
Luca.
good Luca is B. I think the average Luca is C.
yeah, the problem with Luca is like it's good, but like with There's just a lot of characters that just outshine it.
Extreme
Like,
speed still does stupid amounts of damage even to a defender. Like one full heal pop and you could probably do an easy 4K.
Talon playing mid.
Maybe D tier. I'd say C tier for 5-stack
Yeah,
play.
see, because like Talon can always still do something like it's really good. It's still really good at assassinating. Like I don't think like the problem is like if it messes up one of its moves, it's just usually dead. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you can also say the same for Zoroark. And that's really
Yeah,
strong.
The problem is with Zoroark, like Talon doesn't have like many gear options. Zoroark still has a shit ton.
It can leave
Yeah.
as fast as it gets to an opponent, so it's
Yep.
not the same as Talon, who has to wait until Fly is probably back up, or he has some other backup.
Yeah, Zorak has lower cooldowns.
Yeah, it has lower cooldowns in as well. Like even if you miss like one hit of your even if you miss a hit of your Night Slash, or not Night Slash, Bane attack, like usually you'll be able to get out most of the time regardless.
I think Shadow Claw and Flame Charge have roughly the same amount of escape, but Zorak's cooldowns are much shorter.
Yeah.
LB is B.
Strong tank, but the problem, well, not strong tank, strong support, but
Not
like,
the strongest.
yeah, there's definitely stronger out there.
Jack of all trades, too much damage, too much stun,
Ninja,
too much health.
like Ninja's an interesting because like as much as I hate Ninja, like the problem is with him, like he doesn't like.
You just die.
It's
Yeah, like,
better
I would probably
very
say it's a
easy
D.
vibes,
You
but
just
he does,
die.
like, pop off.
We'll put it in C, like nothing like too bad. Like if it's assassinating squishy, like it's really good at that.
I don't know if I'd put it in the same tier as, like, Decidui, so I'd move it
The
to
problem-
D if possible, but...
I don't know about that. I wouldn't put it that high at all. I wouldn't compare it to like a Mime or a Machamp.
Crystal, you were just talking about Crystal, like with how Crystal is, like it could actually still counter a decent amount, but like problem is like you have to
neat.
get that, and usually if you're against like mages, Crystal just gets shut down easily.
Not the
That's the
best
problem.
tank. Not the second
Yeah.
best tank, not the third best tank. I think it's C tier.
Yeah, C tier is perfect.
Wow.
Alright, that's not what I meant to do. Alrighty. I don't think Snorlax is like super
Maybe
overpowered, but like A, I would feel like I don't think like it's an S, but like
It's
he's,
definitely
like,
not S. It can be A or B.
Yeah, A or B. I feel like, but I'm pretty sure it's. I would probably argue A.
I would say
Block is
X
just a-
speed. I would say X
Block
speed
is-
block puts it in A, but everything else
Yeah.
is B.
It just has
Same
so
thing
much
as with
sustain
Champ.
and stun, as well as the ult. With how the ult is, like he just gets without. It just has so much sustain with it. It's unbelievable.
A lot of tanks really are though. That's really not unique
C tier
anymore.
for Zard, I think.
Yeah, like even with its recent buffs, with the recent buffs, I don't know what to put the recent.
Recent buff moves from
C.
D to C tier. Congratulations.
As much as we hate them on, like I don't think like Zarda was like too bad. Honestly, like he could still do some things, but it usually just gets outranged.
I
like,
think it will. I think it will power creep from here. I
Didn't
think-
Nouns
Yeah.
pick Charizard in Worlds? Was it Nouns? It was one of the EU teams that picked Zard, and then Hard lost to Zard. They just kept them feeding.
Alrighty,
I think he had D tier vibes.
because it's so bad right now. Like it's so fun to play, but it's just not worth letting half the
Ult
time.
tech
It's-
is hype as fuck with its ults.
The thing
It's
is,
definitely Ninetales level. No.
Zero,
do we even
no
need to
need
talk
to
about this?
explain that one.
Do we need to? Does anyone want to talk about this, or does everybody agree?
No.
Nah, put Zero and fuck Zacian Comfey tier. Just for the fun, yeah.
I'm being bullied.
Already B tier.
Yeah.
B or C?
Worst
like,
Delphox.
yeah.
I would put it in
B.
B.
Because like there's a good amount of automated that just does its job so much better. Like it's decent.
Just
It's
one
not
tier
as
below
bad.
Delphox. That's what I would say.
You have the Espeon Delphox and the Mew. That does its job so much better. Glaceon also can do its job a lot
Lacking
better.
mobility for exchange for stun.
Let's see.
Stun has, yeah. Let's see. I can see that A tier easily.
Yeah, if we're not counting Comfey, it's A tier.
If we are counting Comfey, it's S tier.
Yes.
Because then you combine them and they become too powerful.
Stoice. A tier.
Stoice A tier.
How funny would it
It
be
has-
if Blissey could heal Comfey on itself? You just have a self-perpetuating cycle.
Yeah, the problem is it's not targetable. So like things like Cliff April, Draining Kiss, the Blissey softball won't be able to target it. Since it's
But it would be
untargetable.
funny. I really like the idea someone suggested that Comfey takes like 10% damage.
Oh, take a percentage damage of the person that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's what it would be.
Mammo, even with the amount of stun he has, and it has decent
Yeah, it's
sustainability. You know, like even with the amount of stun it has and the sustainability, it's just being outclassed by some other tanks. And Sylveon, like I don't think Sylveon's like in a
Here, I
strong
think. It can still be a very strong in 5s.
It can be strong at 5s, but the problem is like if you don't have anything to help sustain it, it's just dead most of the time. That's the only problem.
It does allow
Rita.
for other special attackers to do, so it has more reading. Reading C tier.
Yeah,
It doesn't work well
it's
in
just
5.
outclassed. That's why in C tier.
It's niche. It has a lot of ability, but there's just so many tanks that have more ability.
Decadooey.
Deki is like
Put it in
B
C
tier.
tier.
I would put it in C.
I don't think it's B tier though. It's probably C tier.
I would put
thing
it
is,
in
like, I don't
C
think
because
we
if you sneeze on it, it dies, and there's so much
Yeah,
dive.
the thing is, like, even with the amount of dive, like, Desi, if Spirit Check with Desi is like B, but because like it outrages so many things and deals with it with the mages more better than you think it does. But yeah, like C.
Well, that's not the problem though. The problem is that a Dodrio kills it for free 100% of the time. Zora kills it for free like 80% of the time. A Trevenant kills it for free, and Urshifu, a Zacian, like every good character in the Blastoise, every good character in the game can reach that far back right now.
Serena's D tier.
Yeah, like even with it's still amazing, like if you do it correctly, but with how tight the combos are, the inputs, and like it's just and as well
You
with
can't do enough damage fast enough. There's not enough burst to what you can do anymore.
yeah,
or stuff
because
used to be.
the meta is just usually burst now. So
The problem is that every all-rounder that's been added just does everything but more. More sustain, more defense, more damage, more stun, more dash, everything. Urshifu laughs at Serena's ability.
C or D tier. I think it's C tier. Rip is.
I mean, like, the Rip is nice. I'm gonna put it at C. The only reason why I would even consider it C is because like of its of the Hyper Beam. Like it's still being one of the best secures in the game. If you're not versed in Urshifu, Dragonite secure is really scary still.
Cheese.
Wish you could still auto from top of Repit.
Yeah, that's not. Why? And why did they do that?
At the time, he was too good.
Yeah, Trev. I think
tier,
Trev
if not
A
S
tier.
tier. I love this man.
This thing is really good right now.
It is.
Solo Q, I would call it S tier easily.
Yeah,
Think
it
of
has-
it being S tier for fun.
it has so much damage and sustainability just by itself. Pair this with a good support, and it's just not dying.
Even without the good support, it heals like 40% constantly. And it hits behind you with Wood Hammer, and it also does like 3,000 damage per hit.
Aegis Slash.
It's stupid.
I don't think Aegis Slash is even that great right now. Like,
Nope.
It's better than Serena for sure, but
I would
it's
put,
not
like-
the same as Garchomp.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
it's C tier. It's C tier. It's C tier.
Yeah, because I think it's better than Dragonite.
Hoopa's buff speed. This thing.
S tier is
That's-
Super for sure.
It's one of the best supports. With how much you can just move around the map constantly, but it has a decent amount of stuff and push with the what it's astonished at level 1 and the
Why did
push
they
back
buff
and forth.
this?
True.
It's just amazing. Duraludon. I think Duraludon may be the best ADC, but
I would call it similar to Dragonite if we're gonna.
C tier, like it was so overpowered for so long, but with how nerfs, like I don't know how recent the nerfs were, but with the nerfs it got, it just made it fall off really hard.
I still like it in C tier. I don't. It does
No.
horrible in a dive, like the City UI does, and it only has Dragon Tail from.
Yeah.
I would
think
say
it
if
died when I killed
Dragonite's
it.
if Dragonite secure is C, I would say that Duraludon secure is C.
Alrighty, Azu.
Azu
B.
got hit kind of hard.
B or C.
B or C
tier
for
for
sure.
Azu.
I wouldn't call it B. It's
No
such
way.
a hard
C.
it has such a hard time with stunning tanks.
I'll put in C then because like it still gets some value, but it's just not the greatest.
It's stomped in team fights.
It's a solo specialist, but you can't solo anything.
Do we need to talk about this or no?
Nope.
No.
No, put it in D tier.
What's that? Did you hear something? Oh, I'm dead. Cool.
What is so funny?
Why are 3 of my mains in this tier?
At least you're not Thunder, whose Pokemon has been bugged.
Alrighty, then.
A.
I would say A or B, but I think
I'd say A.
still one of the best attack mages in the game. Zacian,
Probably
I think Zacian's like B or A.
maybe
A
A.
tier for certain. A tier for
I
certain.
would put it like high B. Honestly,
No
high
way.
B.
Definitely the same tier as place.
I just have hopium that they'll get rid of the crits. I swear they'll get rid of it. I swear.
If you want, I can switch with her. And then,
I also wish they would kill Glaceon RC. I agree.
yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, it makes sense.
Buzzwole. I think Buzzwole C, like, it does well in early game, but the late game it just falls up way too hard.
Same thing as Azumarill.
Blastoise. It counters Blastoise, so it's at least C.
Same thing
Yeah,
as
definitely.
Azumarill. It's a single target specialist, and you can't solo anything.
Unless you're a psychopath and run full heal Blastoise.
Instead of eject, you're throwing the game.
Instead of eject or like most other items.
No, it definitely runs eject. It's the best item on Blastoise by a long
Yeah.
Or,
Thanks to ult
I
being
think T-Tar
stupid
is
broken still.
B.
T-Tar is B tier.
Yeah, like, it was scary, but like with how the nerfs were, like I think it made it far up.
Without
the middle,
Zacian, I would probably call it B-ish.
So,
Yeah.
though in the
'Cause they're
like,
Shifu.
February Cup, the only reason why we won any games, we played T-Tar.
I think
Other teams didn't have that solution.
I think Urshifu is enough to knock it off A. I think it's
valid.
B.
We won versus Albatross solo because we had T-Tar. It wasn't even
Because
because
we had a
of
T-Tar.
Yep. It was just so strong, and with the recent nerfs, like it just made it fall apart.
If you
So-
farm
Also-
well.
Again, another thing we don't need to talk about.
Nope. Dodrio
Oh.
also goes up there.
Why won't they nerf the damage? They'll nerf everything else on Mew except the damage. Why?
They did nerf the damage.
Barely.
It's not enough.
They barely nerfed it on the item that wasn't the most
Oh.
damage.
So here's the thing, here's the problem. Like, this is Scyther and Scizor, but Scyther B tier, Scizor like B tier.
There's no
Scizor D
Scyther on
tier,
here? Sad.
Scyther A tier or B tier. We
I'll put-
placed C average, but
I would
Yeah,
average it out to
probably.
C.
thank you.
Nice.
Clef A tier.
Clef A tier or S tier, I feel like it's
I
probably
think it's A.
I'd say same as Blissey.
you know, like it's a really strong support with gravity.
It's AoE Blissey.
Yeah.
Blissey is single target Clefable.
With gravity, by the way. It has gravity, too.
Zoroark is A
A
tier
or
or
B?
at least A. It's A. I feel like it's
I think that's
really
valid.
strong.
Worst Dodrio.
Sableye, like it could still be annoying, but the problem is like if it gets shut down, like
B or
it,
C. I'd say bottom of B tier.
like yeah.
It's
but
kind of
still,
feeling like worse mime right now, so I don't know. It's getting there.
It has a
So-
lot of disruption, and if your opponents just can't deal with it in time, then it loses on the.
I'd say this is usually Wakeable would be better, but like with how the meta is right now, like I think probably
the secure is
Oh,
nice and
yeah.
all, but
Surging Strike is just like A tier. Like this is Wakeable or she's putting him there, but he's
So
so
it's
straight.
like Zacian doesn't exist, so it's S tier.
You know what?
Water
You make a
bear.
fair
Valid,
you make
yeah.
a
Water bear
fair
S
argument.
tier. Yeah.
Both are S tier. We're
Yeah.
not counting using. Dracopult's like B tier. I feel like it's
C
so
tier.
strong. Like C or D, I feel like it's still really strong. It could be really strong. I'll put it like right here. I feel like.
It's
Good.
probably better than Cinder. Excellent
Good job.
something about it.
Honestly,
I would definitely call it
argue-
as good as Greninja.
Gudra, I would argue it is like A tier because like it has with the amount of sustain, it could put out decent damage and have a good amount of stun with the power whip.
Where's
It's just
Lapras? I would probably put it in high B.
Yeah, I'd also agree with high B tier.
And finally, we have this fuck.
A.
A tier.
Yeah, I love
Without Zacian, honestly, I think it might be S.
Yeah, like it's just.
Maybe?
So
I think it would be comparable to Trevenant.
Doesn't have the same CC as Slowbro and Trevenant,
True.
though its ult is amazing, but Slowbro's ult is just better.
We'll call it A plus then.
Zero graveyard.
Fair graveyard.
Curse Bangle might be. Oh.
I agree with almost everything. I just still don't agree with the Dura.
turn on now.
I still don't agree with the Dura in B tier. I think Dura would still go in C.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a tier above Greninja and Decidueye. I think it would be
upper
comparable to Dragonite.
Yeah. Like,
Comparable
it's
to
still the best
Dragonite.
It's still the best ADC.
I don't
though.
think it's best ADC, Johnny, at all. It is. It can get shut down hard if it's.
The problem is they all can.
You know.
Yeah, but I think
opponent's
They're
Greninja
just
is
mages,
hard.
but worse right now.
I think Greninja gets shut down the least amount.
I think it gets shut down the least amount, but it also gets shut down harder. Because Duraludon gets shut down late game, Greninja gets shut down early and stays shut down.
If your opponents see that your team has Dura on it, and they know you're gonna try and rip, then
They're gonna kill it.
picking Dura, you are throwing the game.
They
That
will
is the
kill
way
it.
I think about it.
Yeah.
Well, the similar problem happens with Greninja is if they know you have a Greninja on your team, then they're just gonna group up, and as soon as that Greninja ults, it's dead. The same thing with Decidueye. Is like if they know you have a Decidueye, they are going to be roaming around the enemy jungle at Ray looking for that bird. Like it's not safe anywhere. That Dodrio is camping for you, bro. Like they all just die at Ray. There's nothing they can do
Yeah,
about
but
it.
like Smokescreen can somewhat help. At least, what can Duraludon do against Dodrio?
Well, what can a Greninja do against a Zacian? It smoke screens, and then 1 second later, Agility finds it again. You just die.
Same can be said for like every mon though.
That's the problem. Is that
That's why they're not
that
using
applies to
that.
every ADC. The problem is that most other mon can handle it. The ADCs just die as soon as something finds them. They're
I
just
think of
mages, but
active
worse.
as the ones that will be banned first or picked first.
Yeah.
Ban picked. So I don't
It's like
think
it-
anything in A tier belongs. in
It
this
applies to every character, but I mean, does a Lapras care? No. Does a Blastoise care? No. Does an Urshifu care? No. That's why they're top tier.
Like, if you all read the UCS unbanned, for some reason they were unbanned Comfey Fluffy Tail. So I wonder if they just said that as a joke or if there was a bug on it.
There
Random.
was a bug on it.
There was a bug on it. There was a bug that like triggered it every time it was used or something.
What do you mean?
Had no cooldown or something.
That's
I
hilarious.
had no cooldown?
I had a
Like you could
weird
mash it.
bug.
I don't know why that helps, but it's still a bug that does technically give an unfair advantage. Is it much of an advantage? Not really. But it's something, and therefore it's unfair.
Alright. Is there any more quizzes we can do, or is that all of them?
Honestly, Fluffy Tail passively buffing your damage to farm would honestly probably be a good change.
True. You don't have to proc it, it's just a passive.
Maybe not all the time, maybe not as strong as it is now, but, you know, like old blue buff, but a little
Put
better.
it on the same cooldown, and once you hit farm again, it procs.
Oh, it's like a held item.
Yeah.
There should
I
be a
was
held
wondering-
item that increases farm damage. That would be cool.
True.
I wonder, is there...
Do you want to order each tier?
There's a
No,
funny...
but
Here's an item that to make Tyranitar broken. A held item, where every farm you kill, it's like a stacking item. Or every bit of farm you kill, you
Hell
get
no.
slightly more damage.
No, that is a terrible
no.
idea.
An item to make T-Tar broken in 1 second. Stacks
That's an
10
item to make
times, gives you
everything
1%
good,
damage.
honestly. You know what? The only way it's not going to be broken is if you're a rando that doesn't farm, which is most of them.
And it's making Gren unnerfed, by the way, if you do that.
Pretty much.
Also gives Decidui free stack.
You're giving junglers more power.
Gives
Exactly.
any mon who wants
More
to stack
power.
free stacks, and they get more
Infinite
power from it.
power.
Think of Water Bear with extra stacks.
Infinite power. Unlimited power.
Ugh. Attack weight, that new item that you say, and whatever the else you want, instantly makes it, like, disgusting.
It's a stacking item, but free.
Well, my two most played Pokemon are in D tier.
At least it's not in. At least it's not in F tier. That was invented just for them.
I've played
Wait,
three
you don't play
Zacian
Zera.
games, they were all in
You
standard.
don't play Zera anymore, RC.
That's because it's unplayable. Unless you want to lose, I guess.
I don't know. If I remember right, I think it was which team took Zera and won the game because they took Zera. I think it was.
I don't remember. Because it's so difficult to
Luminosity.
do.
I think Luminosity took Zera into a team and won because of it.
Didn't they also take like 3 top tiers?
I mean, both teams get 3 top tiers. As you notice, there are 7 Pokemon in this top tier. Most likely 1, if not maybe 2 of those. Something.
Where'd you put Scyther?
Scyther's in B.
Tier? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
They're tier list.
We'll see if defenders ever get a nerf. If there's less defenders in the meta, Scyther probably would go up a little bit.
Well, they would have to rework stun in general.
Wow. They really like Wigglytuff at
Well, I mean, they could also just have not every defender do like 80,000 damage a game. That would also help.
A lot of the picks that we have for our tier list are very similar.
It's because that's because there's not a lot of room for error.
I mean, yes, but also there's some like Wigglytuff is in B tier.
I think it's in C.
Yeah, for us.
Imagine if Wigglytuff passive can cancel Blastoise rapid spin.
Oh, you mean DB's
Yeah,
tier
I'm
list is in
comparing
B.
the two.
Yeah, it is in B. Crazy. To be fair, they also moved Crustle up to C, so it used to be in D.
But yeah, in 5s, we have very similar thoughts on how crappy they are.
Which I would say, without Stealth Rock on like the kind of stationary tanks like Slowbro, Lapras, Goodra, I would say Crustle probably would be D tier. But as they add more and more stationary tanks, it gets more and more useful.
Alright, it's time for me to go to bed.
You're
I
sleeping.
think it's time for all of us to head out. We've been up for so long.
Everybody's sleeping. How long have I been streaming? 6 hours. Let's go. It's a real stream, boys. tough in B tier for reasons.